Hey, yo, EPPS, let these motherfuckers know.
This is the opening credits, the way I start my shit off. We been getting money while these niggas been asleep, dog. I'm so old school and I'm still playing leapfrog. Crawl before you walk, that's really what I'm trying to teach y'all. Y'all niggas and bitches will never learn. If you never have discipline, nigga, you never earn. Stay the fuck away from people who look for the blunt to burn. And know that family and friends always gon' fake like they concerned. And y'all don't know what I've been through. Y'all can't tell me what I can and can't do. I walk through the fire with them Jordan 4s. Still in the game and they still rooting for the boy. Grown man boss, real nigga shit. Woo. These niggas fake, man, ain't none of them really rich. Money, no money, and we don't know y'all. We been really in the trenches, we got niggas on the yard. 23 and 1 and never see the sun. They been in so long, they never seen they sons. And it's the type of shit that we go through. Living on faith, man, and trying to be hopeful. A lot of dreams buried in the cemetery. The game they playing out here, y'all know it's very scary. I keep my heart cold like October to February. I'm trying to hit on every number like I'm Jerry. Go large or go home. I'm in the zone like I'm 2-3. And I'm playing with an attitude. Timberwolves, KG. I talk slick, nigga know that I'm nasty. And when it's wartime, know that we ain't trying to be classy.
Hey, yo, EPPS, let these motherfuckers know.
Right now, the DJ EPPS and Friends Show. Weeknights at 10 p.m. with live turntable mixes and interviews. It's time to turn up your smart device and crank it loud.
Hey, yo, check this out. This your boy Diddy. As we proceed to give you what you need, we are the world famous, the supreme, grand imperial. Hey, yo, EPPS, let these motherfuckers know.
Father God, we first want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for love. Thank you for those who are tuned in to this live at this moment. We pray, Lord, that whoever is tuned in right now, that you bless them. Allow them to have an enjoyable time. Allow them to be able to come on here and not worry about problems and not worry about what is going on, but we know that you are taking care of it. At this moment, at this time, allow people to feel loved, to feel peace, and to smile and enjoy. For you said, do not be weary of doing good. So I pray that everybody sows good and reaps good, encouraging one another and looking out for one another. In your holy name we pray. Amen. This is DJ EPPS and Friends. Let's go.
Shit. What up, everybody? Happy Tuesdays. What's popping with y'all, man? I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're having a great week. All that good stuff, all right, man? Listen, man, Shed Alive, everybody. Shed Alive. Shout out to everybody in the building tonight. I appreciate y'all, man. Badge gang, if you want to buy a badge, you're more than welcome to buy a badge. But I definitely encourage you to go ahead and share the live because we got a special guest in the building tonight. Yes, that's right, man. It's Celebrity Tuesdays. You know what we do on Celebrity Tuesdays? We bring a lot of friends over here to come holler at us and let us know what they up to, whether they're in the game right now, whether they're OGs or whatever the case is, man. But tonight, B-Boy's own, yeah, my man Speedy Leg is going to be in the building with me in a few minutes. Hold tight. You know what I mean? I'm about to let y'all know what I got going on, and then we're going to bring him in a minute. So if you know anything about hip-hop, if you know anything about, you know what I mean, B-boying, if you know anything about breakdancing, pop locking, the pro-am, all of that, man, you want to tap in with Speedy Legs and myself as we going to politic in a little bit and catch up and all that good stuff, all right? Also, next week, Celebrity Tuesdays in the building is going to be none other than my guy, Zoe Dollar. Zoe's going to be in the building. Zoe got some thing he's promoting. Zoe got some investments. Zoe got some brand new joints. Zoe Dollars has got some things he wants to talk about, especially a brand new single that's releasing this weekend. So shout out to Zoe Dollars, going to be in the building next Tuesday at 10 o'clock right here on the DJ EPPS and Friends show, all right? Shout out to everybody already buying badge, man. City the Great, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Like I said, badge gang in the building. Y'all want to buy a badge? Go ahead, man. But I definitely need you to go ahead and share the live. My man Corp in the building. Yeah. I know y'all heard me been breaking his music lately, man. That freestyle, that K-Slate energy freestyle. Man, K-Slate energy, good energy freestyle. Corp, you a beast. Shout my boy West Park Zay in the building. Zay was popping. I do have a spring break party here in Miami, Florida, man. So if y'all trying to pull up on me for this spring break, I suggest you do that, man. It's going to be a problem, man. That's this Saturday, a big pool party, the 2K23 spring break DJ EPPS pool party going down in Miami, Florida. So if you are in the area, man, I suggest you pull up on me. And, yeah, we're going to have some fun. Definitely going to be some beautiful ladies in the building. Drinks going to be in the air. And it's going to be a celebration, spring break celebration. We're not really trying to go on South Beach. There's a lot of problems over there. There's a lot of fuckery over there. So we're going to have our own spring break in our area. Excuse me. Jerome, what up, boy? I see you, man. Jerome bought a badge, man. I appreciate that, boy. My boy Jerome in the building, man. You know what it is. Zay, do that, man. Let's get it in. Zay, let's get it in. Do that, all right? Shout to Cujo. Cujo in the building, too. We broke Cujo's record last night. Shit was crazy, man. Yeah. Cujo got a brand new record out right now. Shit's bananas, man. It's called Get They Ass. We broke it last night. I'm going to be back on the turntables tomorrow, and we're going to be doing a mix. I'm definitely going to drop that on the mix, so you definitely want to pull up back in the building tomorrow at 10 o'clock over here. All right? Don't forget that. What else? Don't forget, man, this Friday, the spring break party continues. This Friday, I'm going to be around that North Miami area, man, at the Billy's Pub. Yes, man, I'm going to be hosting a spring break party along with Young Wildin', Deshaun El Villano, Kiko Isukalie. It's going to be crazy, man. North Miami, we're going to be in the building for that spring break party, so pull up on us. You know what it is, man. It's going to be a movie, for sure. For sure. Shout my man CP. Yeah. It's going to be a problem. Shout to my man CP. Chachi, CP Promotion was good. Tonight, if you are going to be in the area, man, the 7th annual Miami Music Week is kicking off inside Coyotaco. Say that 10 times. Coyotaco. Coyotaco is going to be crazy, man. Shout my man Washi Killer, man. Shout my man Dean. I'm going to be on there headlining tonight, man. Shout my man Slim City. He going to be in the building. Yes, Coyotaco tonight. It's all about rum and bass, and they featuring your boy DJ EPPS tonight, man, for Miami Music Week. And it's going to be at Coyotaco tonight in the back of the club. It's going to be crazy, all right? Yeah. Trini, what's going on, Trini? I see you. Yeah. Cypher Rules Radio in the building. 2111 Radio in the building. Yeah. We ready to talk some B-boy standing in my B-boy stands. You know what I mean? My birthday bash in Denver, Colorado, Saturday, April 22nd. It's going to be crazy. It's about 420 weekend over there in Denver, Colorado. What a way to celebrate my birthday over there in Colorado on 420 weekend. It's all happening at the Rhubarb Lounge. It's going to be crazy, live and direct in Rhubarb Lounge with my man DJ Kane in Denver, Colorado. All right? Yeah. Pull up on me, man. Trust me, all right? May 13th. I'm going to be at that Island Midfest performing live. And also, they just added Rick Ross to the lineup, so I suggest you be part of the situation. It's going to be crazy, all right, man? Yeah, Indianapolis, I'm coming for the first time, and it's going to be great. All right, let's bring my guy in the building right about now, man. Positivity Water was popping. Yeah. Where he at? Let him get it right. Let him get right. What's up, loco?
What's up, EPPS?
I'm good, man. How you been, brother?
Trying to make it happen. How about yourself?
Man, I'm always making it happen, Speedy. Since the day you met me, you already know, man, I've been killing ass out here. Excuse me, let me not say killing before Instagram, you know what I mean? But I've been whipping ass out here, man.
You're the hardest working DJ I know.
Hey, man. Coming from you, I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that, man. And yo, man, how are you and the family? Bring the camera up a little bit, man. We always see you're pretty low down. You looking like Lil Jon Get Low down there, man.
Hold on.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Much better. How are you and the family? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, trying to make it happen, brother. You know, little challenges arise here and there, but I'm trying to make it happen.
Listen,
and yourself?
We need challenges, man. Challenges is what make us grow. You know what I mean? We got to go through those tough times. We got to go through them obstacle course to just learn life, learn who you're dealing with, learn how you move in the streets. But as long as you don't run into a dead end, you know what I mean? You should be good. You should be good. What kind of things you run into? It's not about the program, is it? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, no, the program is going through its transformation. We're gonna plan to do a preliminary set in June. Actually, June the weekend of June the 10th. We're gonna do a preliminary program set, but I'm actually moving the conference to December for Art Basel weekend.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, I've already tested it before, and I've done, a few prelims. I mean, as far as breaking and in hip hop events, I've always done events in December, in the beginning of December, in the past, with my partner Trails and stuff. So, basically, give me 1 minute.
Not a problem. Everybody, if you just chimed in, it's my man, B-Boy, legendary, Speedy Legs in the building, man. Shout to Dan, Don, I see you. You know what I mean? Byron was good. D-Raga in the building. Team EPPS in the building. Yeah, Lady Crawley, I see you. Zay in the building. Everybody share the live. Kid Prophecy, I see you, family. I am Flex9 was popping. Yeah, man, they all in the building. Speedy Leg in the building. Yes, like I said, share the live. He's going to give you some more information about the program and also what we got going on, man, this upcoming year. Now, you do know that we're celebrating 50 years of hip-hop right about now. So it's kind of like a thing for me to bring all the legendary artists on my shows for Celebrity Tuesdays this year. But, at the same time, we're going to mix it up and everything, just like we got Zoe Dollars next week. Legs, you good?
I'm good. I had to take a 2-minute break there. I had something to take care of. Hey, that's what happens. That's what happens when you go on live.
Listen, man. This right here, I really enjoy doing the podcast on the live because you get to be in the comfort of your own home. You know what I mean? You don't got to move out, get out your driveway or nothing like that. And we just been vibing, and I've been doing this since the pandemic, so I love it. And for you to be here for Celebrity Tuesdays, I appreciate that, my brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on and talk a little bit about what's happening. I am the sports director for USA Breaking.
Right.
Obviously, that breaking now is being considered, an athletic dance. It's come a long way from doing it at the block parties and in the gymnasiums and in the nightclubs,
Right.
So, I mean, you've been there with me along the ride. So, you've seen a lot of it progress, throughout the years.
Right.
It's been consistent. My job has been to try to be as consistent with breaking as much as possible because it is an element of hip hop culture, and it became one of the most neglected elements later in the years when the rap industry blew up.
Right.
I was gonna tell you, EPPS.
Shout my girl Addis. Addis, I see you. Go ahead, continue. My bad.
You know how you were talking about hip hop turning 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got an issue with that.
Oh man, let me hear your side of the story.
Well, basically, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was there when this whole thing started, and I was also a little kid growing up watching what the older people, you know, like my uncles and cousins and, you know, family members that I had from New York City and stuff like that. And I was watching what they were doing, and we didn't call this thing hip hop in the 70s, you know? It was disco. It's disco, man.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Listen, the terminology hip hop, and I'm telling this to all the people that are out there listening tonight. Please do your research. Don't let yourselves get fooled by the media at times and some of the commercialization of some people that want to benefit from that. And I'm going to explain to you why. As early as I can remember, when I first got introduced to this culture, it wasn't together. It was separate. So the first time I heard rap music was in the late 70s, 78, 79, 1980. That was the beginning of rap music, me listening to it as a party record. I go to the skating ring, and they were playing these records. You know, you had Curtis Blow, you had the Sugar Hill Gang, you had Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Right.
You had the Furious MCs, you know, Cold Crush, all these MCs that were already around in that time frame, in that period, right?
Right.
And breaking didn't really have nothing to do with it at the time, and neither did graffiti. Actually, graffiti to me would be the oldest element in this culture. You know what I mean? It was happening. I mean, if you go back and you see even Saturday Night Fever, right? Just giving you an example.
Right.
When you see John Travolta sitting in the train, what do you see behind him? There's all graffiti and
yeah.
Right. So that element was there. It was actually there. But I mean, as far as us calling it hip hop, it wasn't called that. That terminology really did not start coming out till 82, 83, 84. And then after 84, by 85 or 86, it was solidified as a culture where you heard people talking about hip hop culture, right? But the word hip hop was like you know, like it was used in rhymes, and it was like the word that was always being tossed up and thrown around, because obviously when I was breaking, it wasn't even called that yet. It
Before
was,
that, it was rap.
we called it. Well, no, I'm talking about the breaking element.
Okay,
like
gotcha.
the rap element was called MCing.
Right.
You were MCing a party. You were like the master of ceremony. You were setting it up. You were rhyming at a party and making, you know, the party like live. Right. So, you know, the rap element didn't become really its culture and catch on till like later in the 80s, like mid 80s, late 80s. You start hearing the word rap.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Even though it's in the records and you hear the MCs mimicking what they're saying, you know, they were called MCs. Do you understand?
Right.
And the thing is that, you know, with breaking, you know, when we were doing it, it was called, I mean, the names I was listening to, it was called, you know, down rocking, top rocking, and the element that becomes breaking is actually the spin moves. You know, it's the spin moves. So that's the spinning aspect of breaking, because the first element of breaking that I was introduced to was, you know, the top rock, the footwork component, the dance part of it. So the spinning, which becomes the contortioning of the body, you know, when you're in positions, that became the element of what we developed. That's what we developed in the 80s. Pre-70s, they weren't doing that.
Right.
You know, some of these guys from the 70s that are trying to come out and claim this and claim that. You were not B-boys because that terminology didn't even exist yet. That terminology, excuse me, I did not start experiencing it to the 80s because the word B-boy stood for Bronx boy. That's what it stood for.
You know, a lot of people didn't understand that when who was it? Was it Crazy Leg? I think he said that in Drink Champs. You know, I mean, a lot of people were shocked when he made that comment, but you know, you know.
Hey, he said it. Listen, I've been saying it for a while.
Right.
But he said it out there where he put it out there, you know, like so everybody can. And it's listen, I gotta agree with him on that. He was right. I mean, you know, listen, in the 70s, right? If you study culture, EPPS, let's study culture. You're a DJ. A culture is based on the music that exists in that era, in that time frame. So me as a little kid, I was 7 years old. I was 6, 7 years old. And then I was about 10 or 11 when Saturday Night Fever came out. When I'm growing up, I'm watching James Brown, the funk, the disco scene, and the only type of dancing that I saw that was a street dance was what I saw on Soul Train or on any of the TV shows that existed in that time, which was locking and popping. You know, you saw, you know, Don Campbell Lock, you know, from the Lockers.
Right.
You know, they were doing the funk and locking and that type of dancing, and that was the movement from that time that we saw as kids, right? How we came in contact with breaking was a whole different story because it didn't have nothing to do with those dances. It was like an East Coast thing. It was something that came out of the Bronx. You had the other boroughs. You know, you had Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens. You know, you had these different boroughs that all had their own version of how they danced. Right. The whole aspect of the contortioning and the spinning was a Bronx thing, you know, at least from what I was taught and the people that I learned from, you know. And these guys that were coming up were the new generation of what we would call later B-boys. Right. You know? And, you know, Crazy Legs, he came from that era. You know what I mean? He came from that era, and a lot of other guys that came from that era like him, you know, like, you know, you had he mentions the New York City Breakers, and the New York City Breakers were actually the guys that pretty much, along with the Incredible Breakers, which they really don't talk about those guys too much, but between the Incredible Breakers and the New York City Breakers,
they broke grounds.
They changed breaking. They made it into the power, contortioning, spinning, you know, the stuff that you would later see in Beat Street and videos and stuff like that, right? So, you know, and that was the element that these kids were doing, which I was one of those kids. And, of course, we didn't forget about the music. The music plays a major part in the dancing that you're doing, you know. So there's no way in the early 70s, you know, listen, I give credit to Kool Herc for doing a party in his basement for his, you know, at Sedgwick Ave where he did his thing at, but I can't call him the father of hip hop, man, because he's not. I can't call him that. I can't, you know, because.
So in your eyes and with your ears, who is your father of hip hop?
You know, that's a deep question to ask, EPPS, because these things were happening around me. You understand? I was growing up listening to funk, disco, rock, soul, and then I was into karate. My thing was I was a karate guy. I wasn't even a dancer.
Right.
You know? I got into dancing. You're gonna laugh when I tell you this. I got into dancing after I saw Saturday Night Fever because I wanted to be a disco kid, you know? So my aunt, she was a hustler. She was a dancer, like a real disco dancer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I looked up to my aunt, and my aunt was in that. My aunt is from that generation, from Herc's generation. You understand? So my aunt is before me. So she's the one that introduced me to the culture of this music and street thing. Now, breaking, when I came into contact with breaking, I came in contact with breaking through a guy named Mr. Flex. The Flex happened to move like 3 blocks away from my house, and I met him accidentally, and he's the guy that introduced me to breaking, you know? Because when I was growing up with this culture, what I'm trying to tell you, little brother, is that it was already happening.
Right.
Without a Cool Herc, without a Bambaataa, you know, I mean, these guys, what they did was they gave it the name. Actually, Bambaataa, you know, Bambaataa brought it together. Bambaataa brought it together. And he happened to give Herc his props for doing the jams that he did, because he looked up to her. You understand?
Right.
So, you know, like, I put the pieces together because I used to live in New York, and I knew most of these guys. You understand? Even though I consider myself from Miami, you know, I'm one of Miami's first original B-boys influenced by a New York B-boy.
I think in my eyes you are. You are.
Well, I'm the last left. I'm one of the last guys from my generation that did what I did. This is still I got my other, you know, I got a couple guys that are still around. My boy Chilsky, my boy Seam, my boy Frosty Ice. You know, there's a couple guys around still from that era, besides myself, that actually lived it and breathed it just like I did. I just happened to be the guy that kept doing it.
Right. Big shout to MC Search in the building. Search, I see you, homie. Great new single you got out too, man, my man. Speedy, would it be safe for me to say that I think I don't want to say it died. I think that the 4 elements.
EPPS, you could say that it did die. It did die.
All 4 elements.
Well,
now let me break it down. Let me break it down.
Yeah.
You already just broke it down with breaking, with breakdancing. You know what I mean? You said your piece about breakdancing. You also said something about, you know, graffiti don't get the props that it's supposed to be getting as well.
Sure. And neither does a DJ.
Look, okay, DJ. Nobody's on turntables except for me, Craze, Kid Capri, and maybe a couple of other cats I can't really think of, but I just said 3 names that we really, really stay on turntables. You know what I mean?
The DJ to us was our percussionist. So you see, in salsa music, in other types of genres of music, you got the drummer, the percussion. You know what I mean? And in hip hop, you know, Grandmaster Caz says something that I never forgot. He says, hip hop didn't invent anything, it reinvented everything. So he's right about that. We reinvented things. We borrowed from different things that influenced us and made what we did our own. You know what's funny? I'm going to tell you something funny. That same philosophy is the philosophy that comes from Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. Listen, I was a martial artist. So I was in tune with that philosophy to take what was useful and make it my own, you know, and that's what I'm doing. So hip hop has always been a young people's culture. It belongs to the young people. It doesn't belong to me. You know, it belongs to the young people. I happened to be one of those young people that was able to keep it going and and just help others with it.
Right.
See what I mean? You know, so the whole thing about us talking about the elements, like by the mid 80s, the most concentrated element was rap. The DJ kind of fell in the background, but the DJ was doing mixtapes. The DJ was doing the DMC. Epps, I remember you when you used to play at, what was this spot in the Grove that I saw you for the first time with Craze? Craze was a little kid.
Oh, man.
I'm talking about.
I want to say the Zoo.
The Zoo.
It was right on the corner.
What was that? 1992.
God damn! You saying my age, my homie? But
that was
I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that because if you say Craze was in the mix, I want to say it was the Zoo because it was right on the corner somewhere in Coconut Grove, and at that time,
by the post.
Yeah.
By the post.
Yeah. At that time, I was teaching Miami how to party mainstream. Because hip-hop parties in Miami, they were in the city with Uncle Al and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, those,
you know what I mean?
So those are what I call the hood parties.
Yeah,
those are the real parties.
Yeah, exactly. But I came from New York City, and I taught Miami to be more mainstream and brought it to Coconut Grove and brought it the Sugar Shack to South Beach and stuff like that. So at that time,
I remember the Sugar Shack.
Yeah, at that time, you know, we also was learning about the name DJ Craze. We was learning about him and the magic that he did, that he brought on the turntables. And I was like, dude, we got a picture in front of a crowd so they could see this. Because I remember I would skip school and he would go to his, he would go to his bedroom and practice these routines. I'm like, dude, we got to show these people that, like, people love me for party rocking, but they got to see you, homie. And yeah.
Listen, man, that generation, I seen every generation come by. You know, I mean, DJ Classic was living across the street from me in the early 90s.
DJ Classic, Chris.
and there was my other homeboy, Frank Lords, which is a percussionist from a group called Secret Society.
Right.
He was across the street also. And I remember I took Mellow Man Ace to their house, and we were jamming in there because Mellow Man Ace was in town around that time.
Right.
And he was hanging out with my boy Frank, which was DJ FM. So
Woo, FM, my guy, yo. I love that guy, man.
Listen, man, I knew all the DJs down here. Every single one.
Man, they opened the doors for me when I came from New York, man. They was like, who is this light-skinned Haitian New York DJ coming over here?
We're talking about an era which was the 90s hip-hop era, which was one of the best eras in this culture after it kind of changed a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, what a lot of people don't know is the 80s history of Miami hip-hop. And that's the story that's never been told. It
has to be told. And I want to say I had a talk with Uncle Luke about that. That's a documentary that has to be told. Like, you know. And he went on a rant recently, and he was right, man. Like, people celebrating 50 years of hip hop, but they don't even give props to Miami like that. And
the thing is that, look, even if I had this conversation with Luke myself, like, I remember Luke because I went to break at those ghetto style party jams, and nobody was breaking, nobody. And the only reason I got respect because I was the kid upside down on his head spinning. And the thing is that, like Luke, they were all on that side of Liberty City.
Right.
So, these people were from Liberty City, and we used to go to the block parties they had on that side because really on the west side of Miami, a lot of the clubs were very GQ, disco, and the only hip-hop club that really existed was the Beat Club, and that was the hip-hop club. That was the Roxy in Miami. Like, New York had the Roxy, Miami had the Beat Club. So, when Luke came out, I remember when I met Two Live Crew. They were from California. They weren't even from here.
Right. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Nah, they don't. They're not from Miami. They're from California.
Right.
And they had the song Beatbox, and they had another song on the flip side. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot the song. It's so long ago. But I remember that was a jam. That was an underground jam at that time. And I don't know if you remember Beatbox, how it starts with that beat in the beginning. Boom, 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 boom. You know, it had already that. See, Miami was always about that bass,
right,
the driving bass in the song. And it's not, it's the sound. It's the 808 sound, you know? And that 808 sound, Miami was like, I remember when the song It's Yours came out, Tito Rock,
right,
Planet Rock, these were anthems in Miami. Like these records, these electro funk records was what created the Miami bass sound. You remember Pretty Tony, Fix It in the Mix, Freestyle. Like these were also this is another guy besides Luke that nobody talks about.
Right.
See what I mean?
Right.
So Miami had DJs, and Miami had its own sound going way back.
Right.
So the thing is that when we talk about hip hop again, right? I'd rather say, honestly, brother, I rather say, and I'll say it in front of the public, and the public can do the research and they'll see. I would rather say that hip hop is 40 years old, not 50, but 40, because 1983 is when it blew the F up and everybody knew it as hip hop.
Right.
In the 70s, they were getting down to James Brown, John Travolta, and Saturday Night Fever.
Right.
Where's the breaking at? Where is the hip hop DJ or the listen, if you look at all the flyers, if you look at the flyers from the early days, they say disco on them.
Right.
They say disco, they say get down, they say disco, get down, freestyle, funk.
Facts.
Then there's nowhere you see it in a 1973 flyer that it says hip hop jam.
Right. Not till like,
Not till the 80s. You can see a 1983 flyer with the word hip hop in it, hip hop jam. I know because we had flyers like that.
Right.
So the thing is that, when it comes down to, and I'm talking about, look, I'm not trying to talk about New York's history, but I did live in New York, so I do know the history, and I do know a lot of the pioneers because I know them.
Yeah.
I could say, and the thing is, I also know the history in my city where I'm from, and the thing is that I think Luke should get more respect, most definitely.
Of course.
I think Pretty Tony should get recognized and respected. There's a lot of DJs in Miami that people don't give. They just don't know, EPPS. They don't know. You have people out there, you have Felix Sama, you have DJ Laz, FM. You had all these guys that were radio DJs. You had Phil Jones, Bob Rosenberg. Those were the first DJs on the radio playing mixes.
Rhythm Rock. We're going to go back to Rhythm Rock.
Rhythm Rocker came later.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the guys before them, the guys that created, like the guys that were playing on Power 96 in the 80s. Some of them were from a radio station called Rhythm 98. You ever heard of that station?
I heard of it, but I haven't came into Miami to understand or know that.
I'm trying to tell you, there's guys out there that were doing this since the early 80s, So getting back to like I was telling you, right? So I got introduced to breaking by Flex, and that's because he lived 3 blocks away from my house. But there were other people here from New York and other places that were doing this thing that we didn't call hip hop.
Right.
We didn't call it that. That name was, by the time I figured it out, by the time I figured it out, I said, wait a minute, is that what this shit is called? Hip hop? I thought it was just a jam. Well, we were calling, look, we were using words like throwdown, jam, party, block party, and that's our terminology. When we talk about breaking and what they call power moves now, we call them spin moves. I remember being told, yo, can you do this spin move? And I'm like, what are you talking about? A backspin? A neck spin? Yeah, because that's the words that we were making up for these things that had no name.
Right.
And when I met you, 210 Jack, Les, I remember Les, when Les used to do the Sugar Shack with you guys. I met you guys. I mean, yeah, like you were telling me, you literally thought this component, this element was dead, and it wasn't. It was alive because people like myself kept it alive.
Right.
I was the only guy in Miami breaking, period.
Right.
Anybody can tell you that. I was the guy that advanced it to a different level, that I started influencing the younger guys that were coming after me. You see what I mean?
Right.
And those are the younger guys that you saw breaking at your parties.
Facts.
And that's, the thing is that, when I look at my boys, I had mentioned to you my boy Chilsky, my boy Seam. Actually, those are the only two guys at that time that believed in what I was doing.
Right.
Actually, my boy Seam, famous graffiti writer from out here, and my boy Chilsky as well. Chilsky was also the chapter leader for Zulu Nation later on, when it was passed on to him by Omar Islam. And, you also had DJ Raw out there that was doing his thing with Hoodstock.
Word.
This is the 90s era I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The 90s. But the thing is that in the beginning of the 90s, and there was my boy Domination. You know Domination.
Do I know that. Man, Domination, boy. He killing it overseas, boy. He over there in Asia just with upside down and just, whoo, man.
What does he call himself? He calls himself now the Key of Asia.
Big shout out to DJ Domination. Big shout out to Amaris 305. I see you too. DJ Sela was popping. Go ahead, continue.
Listen, man, I love all these guys. These guys are all part of they're all part of our history, man.
Right. Right.
And
so you were shocked. You were shocked when they started saying, "Oh, this is the year we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop," and you was probably like, 50 years.
I kind of went. I did one of these. I was like, this is what I said, right? This is what I said. Do some of the old guys need to get recognition? Absolutely. I look up to all those guys. I love them all. I grew up dancing to their music.
Right.
They were furious and fierce MCs and DJs. But I mean, I don't listen. I'm not the only one saying it. There's other people in New York City that are saying it and are coming out and say, "Yo, wait a minute. You can't say this shit started in '73, bro, because it didn't."
Right.
You can say, listen, in New York City, okay, there were many people doing parties. Disco was a big thing. You want to listen, you want to really know the history of hip hop? Study disco. Study disco. Because if hip hop culture, the music, the party is nothing but a street version of disco. That's all it is, bro. Guys, most of these guys couldn't get into the clubs. They couldn't get into the clubs in Manhattan or in Brooklyn, like some of the high-end disco clubs, EPPS is no different than the clubs that you guys did parties at.
Right.
When you did your parties, you had to be, you had to be dressed nice. You had to go, hey, listen, we got ladies coming here.
You had to know somebody, you know what I mean?
So it's not like, so what I'm trying to tell you is that what we did was a street thing that was brought into entertainment aspect of nightclub entertainment. You see what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I can give credit to 5-5 Freddy, Michael Holman, Kool Lady Blue, Africa Bambaataa. They all had a part they played in that when they took hip hop from the Bronx to downtown Manhattan. Right. It's the same thing in Miami. Same thing in Miami. You take the island sound from the hood and you took it to the beach. You took it to the clubs. Because I've been to many Caribbean island parties that were done in somebody's backyard.
Plenty.
Am I right or wrong?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Or a garage.
And listen, and those were the most packed parties.
Right.
So why can't that be a hip hop party? They're doing the same thing. It's kind of like, listen, a lot of Jamaican friends of mine that I know, they get mad when they hear about this dude from New York claiming this and claiming that. First of all, that whole thing comes from Jamaica. The whole sound system,
right?
All that.
Right.
Listen, I saw block parties here in Miami before any of these people knew who Kool Herc or any of these guys were.
Right.
I went to a ghetto style DJ throwdown,
right,
where you had a wall of speakers on one side and another wall of speakers against another DJ.
Right.
And guess what kind of music they were playing?
Straight booty music, man. They
were playing.
They were on. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Listen, I remember they were playing a Teddy Pendergrass record. Right? Actually, you know the song Bad Luck?
Yes.
You heard that disco song Bad Luck with Teddy Pendergrass? Goes and you know what he was playing out of that? The bass part. The bass part of the record. The bass line. They were playing the freaking bass line. And they were battling to see who had the louder system with the bass record, with the bass of the record.
They wanted that thing to rattle, boy.
Listen, this was before any of the booty records came out. So the thing is that I'm trying to, like, listen, I've always been a student of this culture.
Right.
It doesn't matter how much I've aged, I still try to understand it and the impact that it has on young people and us that are older now.
Facts.
But I'm not going to lie or exaggerate about my history, or I'm not going to lie for somebody else's history.
Right. I'm
not going to do that. Now, when I know the truth, man, you got to be like, listen, guys, I get it. Listen, to me, this whole hip hop Big 50 thing is to me, it's a marketing tool that they put together for the museum that's opening up in New York City next year.
I heard that a couple of times.
Yeah, they got a hip hop museum opening up in 2024 in the Bronx. But
I also thought it was something to keep, hip hop alive. Like, when I say hip hop, I mean, for instance, my brother, my boss, my guy, LL Cool J, you know what I mean? The way he built the Rock the Bell station for everybody to
I want to say something about LL, right? So LL, I ran into him. Remember Club Cream?
Yes.
Remember Rob and AD's place, Club Cream? I think you DJ.
Man, every Wednesday night I was there.
that's where I ran into LL Cool J at. And when I ran into him, I didn't know it was him till I looked at his arm. I looked at his arm, and he had that big microphone.
Right.
And he just came into the club one night. It wasn't even packed. The club wasn't even packed. And he came in, had a couple drinks at the bar, and people were like, a few people around, and I looked at him. I said, damn, it does look like him. But, until I saw, damn, that is him.
Yeah.
And then, that was the only time I came into some kind of contact with him. I've never met him personally as far as sit down and have a conversation with him. But I do give him credit for taking the responsibility in trying to preserve this culture, right? Because in this industry, right, and trust me, I grew up in this industry because I toured, I did shows with a lot of the great rappers from the 80s.
Right.
And I was in this industry for a long time. You saw me.
Facts.
You saw me dancing everywhere.
Right.
You saw me dancing for Wyclef. You saw me dancing for Run DMC. You saw me dancing for all these people, right? So, but my thing was like, I was already getting old at the performing aspect of this, right? And I always had a vision in breaking different than everybody else. And my vision was the athleticism in the dance.
Right.
So I know you yourself have seen B-boys evolutionize throughout the years. And they're like they're on a level that they're basically flying in the air.
Facts.
And what I wanted to do, and I used to have these conversations with 210 and Les, and I remember when Les used to do stuff for the Boys and Girls Clubs, and he used to call me up to go and do little exhibitions for them, for the kids. I used to do it all the time, And the thing is that I saw breaking athletically. And the reason I saw it athletically, because I trained 6 to 8 hours a day.
Right.
I used to split my training throughout the days, 4 to 5 days a week. And I saw that it was more than just a dance and dancing for somebody in a show or something, right? That was the 80s thing. For me, breaking changed when I said to myself, well, I look at breaking like karate, like boxing, like any other. I look at it as our version of UFC dancing in the hood. That's the way I looked at breaking. So the thing is, in 1993, which it makes it 30 years this year, is the 30th year anniversary of that iconic logo that you used to see me wear all the time. You remember that logo?
I remember.
Remember the logo with the
handstand?
The red, white, and blue logo?
Right.
Okay. So in 1993, actually in 92, when I ran into my boy Max, which was Scene, and the way I ran into him was funny, a funny story. That's another story. But
get into that another day.
Another time. But when me and him started working out together, I always told him that I saw breaking like an athletic dance,
right?
Like an all-American competitive dance. And I also told him that the Europeans were doing competitions in Europe,
right?
At the time. And the United States was completely done.
Yeah.
You run into a couple guys that used to break at some place, somewhere, and, if you ran into them, you had a little cipher session, and that was about it, At that time, I wanted to create something that would become an athletic concept that would possibly become an Olympic sport.
Right.
And the funny thing is, breaking is in the Olympics next year.
That's what I heard, man, and I think that's a great thing. You know what I mean? And you know, did I ever think that it was gonna go that far? Nah, but yeah, that is an awesome thing, man, and we can't wait to see it, man. Yo,
Listen,
Speedy, man.
I honestly think, my brother, I hope I'm chilling with you in Paris next year.
Right.
That's where it's gonna be. It's gonna be in Paris. Right now, it's just a tested sport, so they're testing it to see how it does in the Olympics. And then if it does well, which I'm pretty damn sure
it will.
Because it has all of hip hop culture backing it, you know.
Right.
At least over there it does. Here, I haven't seen it yet.
Right.
You know, very little. And to me, it's kind of like, remember we were talking about LL. Like LL taking the responsibility to do this is good. And I think he should get more involved, especially with the breaking aspect becoming a sport.
Right.
Because I don't see, listen, man, I don't see any of the big record companies here. I don't see Jay-Z. I don't see anybody here that has made millions off of this craft from this culture. And they don't feel obligated. I'm not saying that they're obligated to give anything back to us. But, dude, if you're going to claim hip hop culture, and you're going to talk about what I did for 41 years, then, dude, support the community where it comes from. You know, listen, when we do events in the community, me that I do the Pro-Am, that you know I do the Pro-Am, you know, it's very difficult for me to raise money to do this.
Right.
People have no idea how challenging it is to raise money, to give something to the community.
Right.
Right? Now, you know, the good thing about the organization that I'm involved with USA Breaking, which I didn't mention to you, is that USA Breaking is a non-for-profit 501c3 in the community that is here to assist and develop the future competitors of the dance in our culture moving forward on.
Right.
There's other promoters out there doing breakdancing events all day, every month, all year round. You see it out there constantly. But the thing is that what I want to do in the United States, what my goal always was to bring everybody together.
Right.
But it's hard because everybody is out for self. Everybody is out for their own gain and their own agenda. And that's cool. That's competition. But at the end of the day, we need to be together, you know, especially to set an example for people in the community. If you want to really give back to the community, then, you know, that's how it starts. You know, you can look us up, usabreaking.org. You can go to our website. You can see what we're about. You can see what we're doing and what we're aiming to do. As far as the Pro-Am, you know, the Pro-Am has been around for many, many years as a concept that was there to promote hip-hop culture and everything that's a part of it. Right. Because we did that. We promoted all the dances, graffiti art, you know, MCing, rap, DJing, every component was in the Pro-Am. And that's what the Pro-Am was about. And to me, the platform of putting breaking as a sport was my main agenda, was to get the world to recognize that breaking was more than a dance on the corner.
Right.
That it was more, listen, breaking graduated from the streets. It went from the streets to the gym, from the gym to the club, from the club to an arena. That's where breaking went. Right. And that's where it's going to stay. Because now, you know, me and you are chilling in Paris, looking at these incredible dancers from around the world, and we're commenting on it.
Right.
What this guy just freaking did this and did that, and hey, EPPS, he's dancing to this record that these people produced. You remember that record? So, you know, we're talking about the culture within the culture. You know, so, you know, and it's beautiful to me because to me right now, this culture, it's the way it is because we've allowed it to become that way. You understand? Right. If you care about this culture and about the kids doing it, then support them. Support them. Show them love and support. Don't be, you know, like selfish about yourself. You know, this industry, you know, EPPS, it must be hard for you because, you know, you as a DJ and also in the production and working on both sides of the fence with, you know, famous rap groups that come out on a constant basis, and then you trying to stick to the roots of what you love. It's hard, but I understand the business of it. Like for me, I know the business of putting on a show, a production, and giving people what they paid for.
Right.
But then at the same time, I can go to the community center and sit down and watch the next upcoming breaker.
Right.
And give them advice. You know, being a part of this culture to me has been, it's been rough, brother. It's been rough.
Who are you telling, bro? Who are you telling, man? You know, I've seen it all, been through it all, and even, you know, this day, you know, hearing the rap game, hearing the lyrics, watching certain people calling themselves DJs, but probably never carried a crate in their life, you know what I mean? You know, and so on.
Talking about, hey, you remember going to a party and you had 2 or 3 of your friends carrying 10 crates of records for you? And saying, yo, and you're in the club and your friends are saying, yeah, we're carrying his records. We're his helpers.
Yep. Hey, you want to get in free? You better carry a crate. Hey, look who it is. Speaking about the guy. Speaking about my guy, DJ Domination in the building.
Oh, my man Domination. My man Domination.
Shout out to Chip Fu from the Foo Schnickers in the building as well. Man, Speedy, man, I'm glad the gems and stories you broke down for us, man. I'm glad you came by today, man. And I know we just could go on and on and on and on. But before you go, man, let everybody know about the program and when it's coming up so everybody could get ready to be part of it before you get up out of here.
So I want to let everybody out there know, again, this is Speedy Legs, and I am the sports director for USA Breakin'. Come by, sign up for free, check out our website, check out our next upcoming events. Our tour is about to kick off in May in Providence, Rhode Island. That is the first event coming. Other events will follow throughout the summer, and then the finals will be in Miami in December. Actually, Basel weekend, and the Pro-Am, which will be in June. It's not the actual conference. It is a qualifier for the conference nationals of USA Breakin', happening the weekend of the first week of December, our Basel weekend. And stay tuned for that. So again, you can go to usabreakin.org for more information. And also just stay tuned to what we're doing out there. You know, come by my IG at leg777.
Yeah.
And drop me a message, whatever. We'll chat, we'll build. But EPPS, I'm glad that you had me on your show.
Thank you for coming by.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me tell you some old war stories.
Nah, man. Some needed to hear this. Some think they know it all, but they don't know the half. You know what I mean? They do not know the half, and I'm glad you came by and you told. And I'm gonna have to. I have to bring you back, man, because I know there's some more. We haven't even went into the 2000 era about b-boy. You know what I mean?
Man, listen. I got 41 years of hip hop to cover with you, man. Listen, I want to give a shout out to my man Flex 9, which is on here watching.
Flex, what up, boy?
He has the Dirty South gear that he's working on. I really like his stuff, man. You guys need to check him out. Hit him up. Also on his inbox at IamFlex9. Check him out, and you know, You
Flex.
want to get some dirty South gear? You want to get some dirty South gear from him? You can check him out.
Yeah.
But
Flex, dress
my
me up,
brother,
Flex. Dress me up, Flex. Send that care package over.
oh, I'm pretty sure he'll touch you up, bro. Right? He'll touch you up.
Definitely. Everybody on my.
He got some hot threads, bro. You got to check out what he has, bro.
I'm going to definitely check that out for sure, man. Shout out to everybody on my Twitch, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Everybody that tuned in, I appreciate y'all, man. Tonight we had our special guest, and we want to thank Speedy Legs, B-Boy Speedy Legs, for passing through, man. Hit him up at Legs777. Hit him up if you need more information about the program or anything else that's going on in the B-Boy world.
They can also go to the IG at Pro-Am Dance DJ Expo and become a member for free.
Right. There you go. There you have it. Legs, I appreciate you, my brother. I'm glad I got to hear your voice. I got to see your smile. You know what I mean? You definitely the truth and always will be the truth. And, thank you for being a friend.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. You were you came to the Pro-Am the year before.
Yeah, I did.
You were there.
You guys, shout to Felix Sama too, man. He should have passed by the show. But he happened to put my homegirl Shorty Doo-Wop on stage, and Shorty was like, come watch me. I'm like, man, I'm not only gonna come watch you, but I'm gonna go catch up with my boys. I haven't seen them for a minute. So yeah, I enjoyed that block party. I enjoyed some of the barbecues I had in that food court. You know what I mean? That was awesome, man. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Listen. No fronting. Before we go for the night, tell me if that wasn't a hip hop party you came to.
No, that was definitely a hip hop party, and to see people come and enjoy themselves. You know what I miss, and I saw that day. I love how people just make a circle and everybody come take their turn. You know what I mean? That was my shit at my parties back in the days.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, with all respect being said, you still go to a function like that. They still have the circle. They still have the DJ. They still have the MC. And now that we got Wynwood and, the Museum of Graffiti, I got to give them a shout out, as well for letting me do the functions that I've done there and being a part of the functions that we do. Give a shout out to my man Mendez at Mad Clout, watching us right now live. One time for my man. He was also there with me in the 90s during the struggle.
Right.
So a lot of these guys, man, from Chilsky to Max to Mendez, DJ Raw, and so many others that I haven't mentioned. But, I got love for them all because, they were there. They were part of this movement. They're still there, and they're still part of the community. And all I got to say is stay tuned for the Pro-Am because we coming at you for 2023.
There you have it, man. There you have it. Hit it. Yeah. Speedy Legs in the building with your boy DJ EPPS on Celebrity Tuesdays. DJ EPPS and Friends. Speedy Legs, thank you for coming through. Love you, bro. Holla at me anytime. You already know, family. I would love to keep on, but I got to go hit Koyo Taco right now and go do my little performance in Wynwood. So everybody, if you want to,
it's going to be lit out there. Stay off South Beach. Stay off South Beach, bro.
Yeah. I already know it's Miami Music Week, so they're out there. Yeah, definitely.
Listen, you know where everybody's at. They're in Wynwood or they're in Brickell.
Right. Shit, they're going to be in Wynwood with me, man. I'm about to go shut that thing down, man. Speedy, have a good night, my brother. Love you, bro. And I can't wait to see you again, man.
God bless, brother. Thank you.
You already
Take
know,
care.
family. Word. Yeah. Like I promised you, Speedy Legs, B-Boy Speedy Legs passing through DJ EPPS and Friends show right here, live and direct. The #1 DJ show, Monday to Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, holding it down. Tomorrow I'll be on the turntables. Playing some new music, doing my little exercise, my 1 hour exercise on the turntable. So come watch your boy, come dance, come blast it loud. Fuck your neighbors. We ain't letting them, have fun. We gonna let them watch us blast it live. And next Tuesday, Celebrity Tuesday, my man Zoe Dollars is gonna be in the building holding it down. And Zoe got some new singles popping. We're gonna talk to him about what's going on in his life, his career. He got the food a truck out there, man. Hibachi representing them Zoes. So shout to Zoe Dollars, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern, Celebrity Tuesdays. My guy will be in the building, all right? Don't forget my Indie Thursdays. Indie Thursdays always popping. This Indie Thursday, City the Great will be in the building with me, holding it down for Indie Thursdays. Yeah, I don't want to miss that. Also, for Indie Thursdays in the building will be Nas Nation. All right, so yeah, pull up on us, 10 o'clock Eastern this Thursday for Indie Thursdays. Don't forget it. All right, man. It's time for me to get up out of here, man. Once again, we want to thank Positivity Water for holding down the show all the time right here, live and direct for you and yours. I'm going to leave you with this good energy as usual, man. The new record going viral everywhere, man, by Young Wildin'. It's called Good Energy. Y'all have a good night, man. I love y'all. DJ EPPS, you know what it is. Celebrity Tuesdays, live and direct for you and yours. Hey! This is my joint right here. Good energy. Young Wildin', turn it up. Having fun. Have a good night.
DJ EPPS, good energy. I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency. I'm talking high G-O-D. Yeah. Good energy. I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency. I'm talking high G-O-D.
The rose quartz, that flow right, crystal vision, intuition, foresight. Even my lucid dreams started getting more right. Oh, I waste more days and I live for more nights. I get high on light cause it feels more right, yeah. Tell me what's wrong from right. It's all connected, energy can never die. Born in the dark, but I chose to be the light. Make every money I got at your evil life. What's that advice? Don't kill my vibe. No more depression, please don't kill my pride. Brother religion, I'm catching the green lights. Spread out my wings, I'm catching the free flights. Free as a bird, out of sight. Singing every little thing gonna be alright, yeah. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah. All I need is good energy, high frequency. Give me that 528, 963, light up the sage. Smelling like hickory, trying to heal scars. I got different type of